Good morning. I celebrate all my viewers hearing the sound of my voice. I greet you all. This morning, I want to drop a message quickly, under 5 minutes. There is one of the legendary musicians that sang the song in Igbo language, Gwo Gwo Ngwo, in the person of Chief Mike Ejaga. So in that beautiful song, there's one of the best journalists Nigeria has produced that captured the write-up. That in that his analysis, he put it this way: that the elephant represents the masses, while the tortoise represents the ruling class, the government. As tiny as the tortoise, as smallish as tortoise, as little as tortoise, he was able to deceive the mighty elephant and deliver him to the palace in order to marry the king's daughter. Tortoise deceived the elephant without the knowledge of elephant. Tortoise is very crafty, very smart. He was able to play the game. The same thing is applicable in the political terrain. Likewise, the religious circle. My message this morning is titled Political Cage and Religious Cage. Political and religious cage. If you look at political terrain, especially in Nigeria, they manipulate the masses. They cage the masses. And the ignorant masses, as mighty as they are, as big as the masses, they are easily being controlled. They are easily being tamed by the craft, by the authority. The same thing is applicable to religious circle. As you stay tuned, I will break it down in a little bit. Under the political control, you see a lot of promises, fake promises, empty promises to the people, and they were able, in order to manipulate, hoodwink and get hold of the masses' trust. But the end of it is always tears, agony, and regret. The same thing is applicable in the religious circle. Those under the religious circle, like somebody said to me that a man came to him, and this man is an accountant, professional, jobless. In the course of discussion, so the political discussion set in, and he was so comfortable supporting the present government that they will do well. He believed in the government. He believed in all the promises shall be kept. So this young man was amazed that upon his intelligence, upon his exposure, a professional accountant, jobless, for more than 5 years, he's eating from hands to mouth and still put his trust in the government. He said to me, his belief is not far-fetched from the religious cage and the political cage. Under the religious cage, see a lot of a lot of promises sustaining the people, it shall be well. God is in control. God is always control. God is always faithful. But the hard truth, people don't know. There are certain things that God cannot do. All the things we can do for ourselves. God has created the universe and blessed every nation, every region. He blessed Nigeria with all manner of resources. We have abundance of wealth, both natural, both agricultural, and everything you can think of. But just like in a family, whereby a man is rich, having more than 100 houses all over the cities, whereas his children are living under the bridge. The children are eating from hand to mouth. Can you blame God for that? God cannot be blamed. The father is holding the destiny of the children. He refused to release the blessing to the children. He refused to bless their life. He refused to send them to school. He refused to do what he's supposed to do as a father. And you want to assure the child that God will intervene. How will God intervene? God has blessed the father in order to do what? Extend the blessing to the children. That is a gospel truth. Under religious cage, you see so many people being hoodwinked, believing fantasies, believing things that are not reality. Under religious cage, you see some women that are unmarried for many years. For instance, let me break it down so that you will understand the message. There are some people that are supposed to settle down in marriage as a young lady. But because of religious cage, religious bondage, you hear some people say, it's not from my congregation. The man seeking his hand in marriage is not a member of his church. He's not a member of his congregation. Because of so many things you have heard from the man of God that oversee his congregation, oversee the chapter. So he don't want to go. He look at those places as enemy territory, as unbelievers. I have seen so many Catholics seeking hand in marriage to Pentecostals, and they turn down because he's not a Pentecostal. I have seen so many Pentecostals seeking hands to Catholics in marriage, and they turn down because he's not a Catholic. And if you will hear the language like say, I better remain single instead of me to marry a Catholic. I better remain single instead of me to marry a Pentecostal. Whereas it is a will of God. But because of religious cage, religious bondage, you remain in that circle. You remain in that ignorance, hoping that you are doing the will of God. There are some people that are suffering for religious cage, suffering for religious bondage, suffering for political cage. As small as Europe, especially the UK, they were able to control almost the whole African continent with their tiny soldiers because they have the knowledge, because of the manipulations. And that is what is happening between the rich and the poor. The rich ones are very minor. They are in a minority, but they control the vast majority of the poor masses because the poor masses are ignorant. They are suffering from political bondage, religious bondage, social bondage, and all manner of bondage. So the reason for this message is to bring liberty, to bring freedom, to bring liberation. That if you are a victim of religious bondage, religious cage, you got to free yourself. You got to free yourself. Stop carrying religion over your head. Stop dying under the bondage of religious cage, religious bondage, political bondage. As long as it is a political party, whatever they does is right. When they commit impunity, is welcome. When they commit all manner of atrocities, bloodletting is welcome. You welcome it because it's being done by your political party. It's called political bondage. Cage. You're under cage. God created every man to be free. Free from bondage. Like there's one of the religious cage. Before the Sinachi died, you always hear for better, for worse, for better. But after the death of that woman, people start singing another song. That marriage is not do or die affair. Because somebody has paid the spirit price. But before, under the religious bondage, it's like a do or die affair. You must die in your marriage. If you talk about divorce, it's a taboo. Talk about separation, it's abomination. Who says so? Because of many, sermons being preached by religious, vampires. God is love. Anything outside the love of God, the plan of God is evil. So don't subjugate yourself under religious bondage or political bondage. You must be free as a human being. Kudos to the Europeans. They are free thinkers. They look at things objectively. But here in Africa, we are wallowing everything that come out from any man that we respect. Any man we pay homage. Whatever he says is alright. Whatever he does is perfect. He is not God. Human being is prone to mistakes, prone to errors. So do not suffocate yourself or die in ignorance. You must be free. Be a free thinker. Be positive. Love God with all your heart. And do your best to click to the mercy of God. You shall be free from all these cages. And when you are free from the cage, you will free others as well. God bless you. Until we continue this message. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Remain blessed. I remember Apostle Ezechim, the major prophet. God bless you.